Welcome back, everyone. So we're going to continue talking more about the plasma membrane for this video. And if you look at our slideshow, you'll see that Handout 3A was talking about the plasma membrane. We covered that, the parts and pieces of the plasma membrane. And now we're going to move over to Handout 3B, which is going to continue talking a little bit about this plasma membrane of our cell. So getting to Handout 3B, we're going to talk about membrane permeability, the ability of things to move across the membrane. Now, remember in our video 3A, we talked about protein channels that act as doors to allow molecules to go in and out of the cell. Now, let's continue that thinking when we talk about membrane permeability. That's the ability to move stuff. So it says that the plasma membrane is selectively permeable. That means that it will allow some things to go through the membrane while keeping other stuff that we don't want going through the membrane, maybe like viruses, from moving. All right, so it just says that some things can pass through while others cannot. Generally speaking, small non-polar molecules can move right across the membrane, sort of like it's not even there, whereas bigger molecules that might have a charge can't move across the membrane. They're blocked. And those are the molecules that may need a channel protein, like glucose, for example. Glucose is too big to just move through the membrane, so it needs some help. Now, just because of physics, molecules are going to move via a concentration gradient. So it says a concentration gradient is the difference in concentration of a chemical between one side of the membrane and the other. So let's look at this example. Things are going to always move from high concentration to low concentration. So glucose, for example, is going to want to move across the membrane. Our membrane here in this picture is red, so these red lines are representing the membrane. But a molecule is going to move from high concentration, where we have a lot of the molecule, and it's going to want to move to areas of low concentration. This is just because of physics. Physics, molecules are going to always want to move from high concentration to low concentration. Now, some, like these small non-polar molecules, can move straight across the membrane like the membrane's not even there. Other things like glucose, for example, glucose is going to need a channel protein, a door, a pipe that allows that glucose to move from high concentration to low concentration. We're going to talk more about this in future chapters when we get to moving other substances through the membrane into and out of a cell. Now, we can also move a charge. So the bottom of this is just showing a charge where we have an electrochemical gradient, and we can build up a charge on one side of the membrane. So on this side of the membrane, it becomes very positive. It's less positive on this side of the membrane, so hence if it's less positive, it's more negative. So we're going to build up a positive charge, and what can happen is we'll build up the charge, build it up, and then bam, it'll equalize, and we can shoot ions across the membrane. This is called an electrochemical gradient, and essentially it's electricity. This is how our nerves and muscles work. What we're going to do with nerves and muscles is we're going to build up a charge, build it up, and then bam, it's going to move and equalize, and when it does that, it kicks electricity, and the kicking of electricity is going to move an electrical charge. So there's not much to this handout 3B, but some important concepts about selectively permeable membranes only allowing certain things to go across. And so in the next video, we'll hit handout 3C, and we'll talk a little bit more about the plasma membrane and how it behaves. All right, I'll see you then. Take care.